The shop started many years ago, 1946, with my granddad, Eddie Williams, and Eileen Williams, my grandmother. They started four businesses on the pier just after the war. He came back from the RAF, and my grandfather set up a candy floss shop on the pier, Brighton Pier. That's where my business started. So,
Hello, I'm Ricardo, and I'm joined here today by Maria, who is the third generation owner of a small business in Brighton. Hello, Maria.
hello.
Obviously, I came into the picture when I was around 16. I met your daughter Gabby, who was also working there, who would have been the fourth generation, I guess. I've worked there since I was like 16 till I was 24, and I saw it go through all the different stages. Can you tell us a little bit about the shop before sort of like around the beginning of when I started, or even before that, and then a little bit how it is now, and how you came to the decision, obviously, to close the store as you have?
I started when I was in my teenage years. My mum actually started the small unit, which is in the photographs, which my grandfather gave her because that was his store cupboard. And that's where the original candy floss came from, which I then have moved around on the pier. I've had various shops depending on the level of rent that I've been paying. And I started when I was about 14 making candy floss, and then I worked all the way through until now.
Can you tell us a little bit about the decision that you came to close the business, and kind of what factors came into that, especially like any events or sort of situations that caused you?
The last few years it's been quiet, it's been declining, and before that it was quite a busy shop. We were on the go and we were quite unique, but since then, just a few years ago, the pier owners themselves set up their own shop, so mine became less unique. And then we went into COVID, which really stagnated the shop a little bit. And then over the last couple of years, the shop's got quieter and quieter. And I came to the sad decision that after being there so long, it's time for me to close. It was sad. It's sad because economically the shop has declined. The pier hasn't really updated.
Before COVID, because obviously I worked up until sort of COVID, and then I came back for the kind of period afterwards, and I could obviously tell the difference. It wasn't just the pier, and it wasn't just your shop. It felt like Brighton had sort of kind of emptied out. How did that kind of factor into a decision, and did you kind of could you see a difference in Brighton, not just your business, obviously, the pier and the whole place, how the tourism has been affected by that?
That decline is really evident, actually, not just in businesses, not just in my business, but generally in Brighton. And I think also piers they're not such a kind of, people want to go abroad if they're on holiday more. I think in the heyday, in like the 50s and 60s, piers were the thing because people loved that environment. But I don't think in the 20s that's really what people look at for going on holiday. They might do a day trip, but I've definitely seen a decline. And I think you see a decline in Brighton itself because there's a lot of shops that have closed down, which is quite unfortunate and sad.
It's quite sad that it seems to be a lot of the sort of independent family-run businesses that are closing. And when you have business like yours, which have been in your family for generations, it's sad to see that history not be honoured in a way. But obviously, do you feel like the decision to close it was the best for you?
I personally feel like I've made the right decision. It took me a couple of years to come to that decision, but actually when you're working really hard, and when you have a business like that, you are working all the time. You have to have a good reward from it, and I wasn't. I was working, really, I could be working somewhere else part-time and be doing as well, so because you're paying high rents and you're paying all of those fees, a lot of overheads. I think it's been a nice studenty job for people when they've gone to university, come back from university, that kind of thing. Like a summer studenty job for people, which is really nice. People have moved on, they're doing their grown-up things now. So
It was lovely speaking to you, and hope it all goes well.